everybody. Today is Friday, and you know what that means. Today we're back with the Fasnight Garner team to talk about what's happening and the latest news in our real estate world. Today we're joined by Sharon, Kenny, and Carol, and our special guest, Julie from Carteret Attorneys, to give us some insight for buyers and sellers. So let's get right into it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are happy to be here today. Our numbers have begun. We're beginning to definitely feel the effect of the pandemic, unfortunately. We're still up overall as far as sales for the same time period last year. I think we're up 7%. What really tells the story for the future is under contract numbers. And last week in Carteret County, we had 361 condos and single-family homes under contract, and this week we only have 148. So that's a drop of 40%. We were hoping that the bull market that we were feeling before this pandemic started, the wave would carry us through until it was over, and then we would just kind of start it over again. And that still may happen. It just depends on how long this lasts. So we're still very optimistic.
Absolutely. And I would say, Carol, is a prospective seller. This does not mean to not list your property because of the exposure that they need now more than ever.
That's what I'm telling people all the time. In fact, I had 3 sellers that said that they wanted to take theirs off. And I said, we won't let anybody in your house if you're uncomfortable with that. We certainly understand that. But you need it online. You need exposure. And there are a lot more buyers looking right now online. They've got time to do it.
But I'd say right now would be a great time for a seller to be on the market because people have got the time. And also you still don't have a whole lot of competition.
Our new listings are down 9% from last year.
I'll tell you, for buyers, I feel like, they have an advantage right now. If they've been on the fence of purchasing, now's the time to get out there and, brings up a great question, I think, for Julie that's joined us with Carteret Attorneys. Julie, what advice do you have for sellers and buyers right now to have a successful closing? And what are you seeing in your area of work?
Well, like y'all just said, the interest rates are still pretty low. So it's still a really good time to buy a house. We've obviously made some changes in our office about how we move forward with closings. We're all in this together, so we haven't had any pushback on this, and people seem to really appreciate that we are concerned about the safety of the buyers and the sellers. So one thing that we're doing is really trying to limit the amount of time that you're in our office. We really try to handle any questions or concerns that you might have about the closing process, about your loan package ahead of time. So if you're paying cash for something, it makes it really easy. We email you a settlement statement. We're available by phone or by email to review it with you. And then we send you wiring instructions. You send us the money. You scan back the settlement statement. We're good to go. With loan packages, obviously, it's a little bit more detailed. We try to get you a loan package ahead of time. We email it to you. The lenders have been really great about working with us and making sure we have that information. We send it to you ahead of time and we say, look it over, take your time. Again, phone consultation or email, we're available to discuss any questions so that when you come to our office, we can get you in and out fairly quickly. We're obviously following all the guidelines of keeping our distance. We ask you to bring your own pen. If you're out of town and you're buying a home here, we say we're going to do everything by mail. So we'll send you the loan package, you print it off, find a notary, sign it, send it back to us. And it really streamlines the process and makes it easy for our buyers and our sellers. Everything's kind of rolling along pretty smooth. Of course, we have seen a little bit of a decline in closings, but honestly, not as much as I thought it was going to be. And like Carol was talking about, I think, we're kind of riding out everything. And if this doesn't last too long, then I think everything's going to kind of be okay and continue. And of course, we were on such a high before this happened.
Yes, right.
So it's hard to maintain that consistently anyway. So we're definitely still seeing it out there.
And can you mention something about the courthouse and the Register of Deeds?
Yes. A lot of people have called us and said, I heard the courthouse was closed. That's not actually the case. The Register of Deeds is still open. You cannot just walk in off the street and go into the Register of Deeds like you used to be able to do. Of course, they're concerned about safety as well. So we can still go over to Beaufort. We can still go to the courthouse. We just kind of have to stand outside. They take our paperwork, take everything in and clock it. We still have the ability to update and record everything. You know, the checkpoints haven't stopped anything because we are considered essential. So we can still get over to Beaufort and record everything. So courthouses, Register of Deeds is still up and running.
We appreciate you joining us, Julie.
Thank you so much for having me.
And
Thank
Carol, you have any closing remarks for anyone that's on the fence about purchasing or buying or sharing anything, any advice you could give them?
David, I think it's a good time to be looking and buying steel, especially for a buyer, the interest rates. And as for sellers, I really think it's
the low inventory. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it. As always, thanks for joining us on our Friday wrap up.
Happy
May God
Easter.
bless everyone. Happy Easter.
Thanks.
Easter. Bye.
Easter.
Bye, guys.
Happy.